So I guess he was asked, is D Wade better than James Harden? So let's just get into what the whole clip might have said, and not just the little snippet that a lot of people took on Twitter and went crazy. We're gonna get into that too, because a lot of the comments is hella funny.
Might have to disagree because when D Wade won that first championship, I think that's what people even having this argument about D Wade and James, because that championship that D Wade won,
The first one.
and the style he won it in was insane. Everything was downhill, pick and roll to the cup. I'm scoring tonight. Dolo. Shaq.
To be fair though, the reason why everybody mentions D Wade's first playoff run is because he was 24 years old. He was 24 years old, and he was carrying a bunch of veterans. He was carrying a different Shaq. Wasn't exactly Lakers Shaq anymore. Shaq averaged 13 and 10, and I'm not saying that Shaq was a bum, but Shaq, like I said, Shaq wasn't Lakers Shaq. D Wade averaged 34.7 points in the finals, bucko, at 24 years old. It's hard to pick Harden when Harden never did that. He never had to carry a whole bunch of veterans. He never raised his level of play in the playoffs. And that's why a lot of people, including myself, is picking Dwayne Wade. But again, let's get back to the take.
Shaq was out there. He was second option, and he had shooters around him, and Posey and Antoine Walker, and he had backup point guards that could help him. Who that sound like? James Harden. James Harden played that same style, a pick and roll going down.
Okay, I'm not gonna pause it no more after this, but we also have to impact the fact that KD is probably high as hell, and that might be clouding his judgment. Now back to the tape.
Downhill, big, that can catch a lob with shooters around him, and I can go get you a bucket. James Harden played that same type of style. He didn't have that moment that D-Wade had, being able to come down 3-1. Pat Riley, Miami Heat organization. There's a lot worked in D-Wade's favor, and he had to show up, but there's a lot worked in his favor that might have to disagree.
There's a lot that worked in his favor. Brother, he averaged 34.7. He was the favor. He was the guy that made it worked out. When comparing D Wade, comparing James Harden, and there's no respect to James Harden and the impact that he had on the game, D Wade was a two-way player. D Wade did it on both ends. The reason as to why James Harden was not successful in his quest for a ring is because of the fact that what his game entails is that he's going to score. He's going to dribble. He's going to step back. Shoot it in your eye. Pause. And that's his game. But by the time you get to the playoffs, by the time you get to the end, bro, you are worn out. Because you have to do that 82 games in the playoffs. So I'm not excusing Harden and saying the reason why he lost is because he's tired, but that has to do something with it. But in that same token, in that same breath, Harden didn't give it to you on both ends. Pause. That sounds terrible. Twitter lit KD ass on fire. Let's just get into some of the takes that Twitter treated us with. Nigga, didn't you join a 73-9 team for your last two ships. I, yeah, he did. The next one also said was KD would be ringless. This man has had all-time great teams and has never been able to lead his teams to the finals as the guy leader. Yikes! Yowza! I mean, that's fair. But really, somebody really got into it. Somebody really nailed down stats and facts. They didn't necessarily attack KD as a person, which you can do, but honestly, that wasn't what it was about. I thought. But this particular guy, he said Wade averaged 23, 5 and 4 with 2 steals and a block in the 2012 playoffs. Didn't have to do much. Because when KD said Wade didn't really have to do much. He had Pat Riley and he had all those dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, pause. As I mentioned before, that's elite two-way production on a title run. 2012 is when he had LeBron James and in his prime. And he averaged 23, 5 and 4. Wade was going to win because Wade knew how to win. And in the finals, as this guy puts up, Nico Jenkins, to put his name out there, in the finals, Wade averaged 23, 6 and 5 with 1.4 steals and a block. He showed up. And it also said that he outplayed Harden and Westbrook on the biggest stage. But somehow, Harden gets 6-man excuses when he was only playing about 4 fewer minutes than Harden. Four fewer minutes than Wade. And we're not even going to get into the 2006 all-time carry job. A lot of people had a lot of things to say, man. But what that last dude said, that was the meat of it. That was the main course. He finished it off. Bravo. So, man, if you do see this, brother, I applaud you for the way that he was able to slice and dice his way into that point without attacking KD, because KD left it open to get attacked. Was amazing. And I mean, I do appreciate when people actually give real good takes and they respond to what the debate was supposed to be about. And he did that. He did a good job of that. But anyway, man, what do you think about what KD said about Wade and Harden? Was it true? Was it BS? Or is this something that KD himself should not have said? Let me know in the comments. Talk to me. I'll talk back. All right. Peace.